My entitled doctor kicked me out of his office for not buying his overpriced medication. When I learned why, I reported him and hooked up with his secretary. She said she never knew her coin slot could feel so good because of me. For context, I was always bloated, felt fatigued no matter how many hours I slept, and was always tired in the afternoon. I knew that a lot of people experienced this, so I figured it was normal and tried not to pay attention to it. But one day, I felt so horrible I couldn't even get out of bed. It was such a struggle, so I spent the day doom scrolling in my room. I knew I had to go see a doctor, so I went to get checked out. I couldn't help but notice a pretty secretary on my way to the doctor's office on the day of my appointment. She said one thing to me, which was, "The doctor will see you now." But I could tell she wanted me. But the doctor quickly gave me a reality check when he asked what was wrong with me and then asked about my diet. It wasn't the best, so I was a bit embarrassed to tell him. I regularly ate fast food because I didn't know how to cook, ate a lot of sweet things, and drank White Claws to take the edge off. The doctor visibly grimaced after I told him all of this, saying that was the easiest way to take my own life quicker. He then ran a couple tests on me because he wanted to be thorough in order to prescribe me the right medication. I was glad that he was my doctor, because I worried that he would brush me off or give me some BS diagnosis. After he came back, he said the test showed the early stages of fatty liver disease. My heart dropped. He said that what I was experiencing were extremely common symptoms of the disease, which meant that feeling fatigued and bloated and tired wasn't normal. He explained that the liver controls a lot of our actions, mood and fatigue, and because mine was damaged, I always woke up feeling worse than I did the day before. He even made sure to tell me that I had seen him right on time, because if I continued with my unhealthy diet, the disease would progress fast and eventually lead to the last stage known as cirrhosis, which is when the liver gets scarred and you die. He told me it was completely untreatable, and it was on the rise lately because of how much deep-fried pig food people in America eat every day. He explained that most people don't even know that their liver is slowly dying until it's too late, since it can go undetected for a really long time. He warned me if I didn't change my diet and took the prescribed medication, I'd better start picking out funeral home window shopping. This meant my chances with the hot secretary would be down in the negatives, unless she had necrophilia. I did research that night to find a diet I could do to start eating healthier, along with recipes to the foods I would now have to make since I had no experience in the kitchen. After hours of being on the internet, I found the caveman diet, which included meat, fish, fruits and vegetables, and nuts. This was the ideal diet for me since I would now avoid all processed foods and sugar, and alcohol. Buying groceries in order to make all these foods made it so that I wouldn't be able to afford the medication the doctor prescribed me. But I wanted to be just as thorough as my doctor, so I spent another few hours looking for something I could use to heal my liver. I found the answer to my problem the next day. I had to take an everyday liver vitamin since it was specifically for fatty liver disease. Taking the vitamin every morning was really easy, but the caveman diet was a lot harder than I thought. Nearly every day was a failed attempt at cooking and eating medium rare chicken, and I had forgotten what vegetables tasted like because I barely ate them, so it took a while to stomach them. With practice, I got really good at cooking, so I didn't see a need to eat out. Though sometimes I did indulge in a McChicken or two, the everyday liver vitamin quickly got that out of my system, so I had nothing to worry about. And 2 weeks after I cleaned my diet and started taking the everyday liver vitamin, my energy shot up quicker than a teen looking a goth egg on the hub. I used to struggle getting out of bed, but from then on I started waking up refreshed and didn't experience any morning grogginess. I woke up feeling great, so I started going for runs in the morning, and going to the gym when I felt up to it. I had never stepped foot in a gym before, so this was amazing progress to me. I was shocked at how productive I was being after just weeks of taking the everyday liver vitamin and doing the caveman diet. Since I was eating healthy, I wasn't bloating and none of my food was causing me to feel nauseous. I'm just lucky I never got salmonella on top of fatty liver disease. After 3 months of following this routine, I actually felt normal for the first time in a long time. So I went back to get checked, and my doctor was quick to tell me that he was impressed with how much muscle I had gained. He then ran some tests and found out that the weight and fat on my liver had significantly decreased. He said my liver was actually much healthier than the average person. He congratulated me because he had never seen a patient with fatty liver disease get better this quickly, and said that if I wanted to continue seeing these results I needed to continue taking the medication. I was confused by what he meant because I completely forgot he had prescribed me something. So I told him I had never taken the medication. Now that threw him for a loop. He asked me how I got the results, and I told him all about the caveman diet and the everyday liver vitamin. I had never seen anyone get as mad as my doctor did at that moment. He told me that I shouldn't be doing that, and that I needed to listen to him and I should have taken the medication. I asked him if that really mattered because I had really great results. I even pointed out that he thought his medication had decreased the fat in my liver even though it was the vitamin. But he wasn't listening to reason and said he was the one with a medical degree from an Ivy League. He was the doctor, not me, so I couldn't do whatever I wanted. I told him that he just congratulated me on my results, and that I was the first patient who had healed their liver in 3 months. And it wasn't by taking his BS overpriced medication. It was through a diet and an everyday liver vitamin. As soon as I said that, he yelled at me to get out, and I didn't waste a second leaving his office. It was like something had been switched in his brain that made him act all crazy, and I had no idea what it was. I thought I would be wondering about this all week, but as soon as I walked past his secretary, I heard him telling her that they just lost money because they didn't get a commission off of me buying the medication. I was shocked. Turns out, all he cared about was putting a couple extra bands in his pocket. That got me thinking, was he being thorough with my diagnosis because he was secretly hoping I would have fatty liver disease? It seemed like I couldn't even trust a damn doctor nowadays, but that didn't matter because I still had the everyday liver vitamin healing my liver. Since I wasn't at risk anymore, I went on a less strict diet and ate some junk food occasionally, knowing that the everyday liver vitamin would cleanse my body of any processed foods. I will say that secretary was thicker than a box of Pop-Tarts, so I went back.